A new skilling boss and an upcoming roadmap for all major content this year and beyond. Well, I think there's some newsworthy stuff to talk about, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Yep, we have another right-click examine post, and this time it's all about the upcoming skilling boss. The new skilling boss is Runescape's second ever skilling boss following Croesus, which released as part of the Elder Goddard's Dungeon Front series. Now this boss, unlike Croesus, is going to be a dedicated soloable boss first before being a group boss. Now before you say, whoa, I know people have soloed Croesus, but the approach design-wise for this boss is going to be a solo boss first, and then scale up for more players. Probably going to be 8 players, just like Croesus. Now you're probably wondering, well, what exactly is the definition of a skilling boss? Because some people call Croesus a minigame. Well, Jagex sat down with players and the developers responsible for all the skilling bosses in old school RuneScape to identify 3 core pillars of a skilling boss. 1, the encounter needs to revolve around skills that have a non-combat focus, i.e. this involves using your skills to collect resources, to craft items, and then to take out the boss. According to Jagex, this doesn't mean that combat skills can or should be completely excluded. An example mentioned by Jagex involves using prayer to cleanse or bless objects. The point they're trying to make crystal clear here is that you shouldn't be using necromancy or range for the entire fight. The entire battle or thing needs to be involved around a central entity, which is a boss, and bosses by definition, according to Jagex, come with a variety of expected mechanics and systems such as loot tables, a collection log, a boss pet, and so on. And it needs to be repeatable, of course. I'm not going to go into this all too much, but they're trying to say that Croesus isn't a minigame, it's a skilling boss, which I agree with completely, and minigames have a different goal. Skilling bosses have the goal of you defeating the enemy. Now, what are you able to expect from the encounter? Well, they mention skills such as divination crafting being used to resolve problems that arise throughout the encounter. So guys, if you haven't trained your divination or crafting yet, use my guides linked below. The general thoughts around the encounter are 2 different phases, being a preparation phase and an endgame, aka fighting phase. The preparation phase is going to be time limited, in which you use gathering and artisan skills to strengthen protective measures and possibly create weapons as well. But I'd like to focus your attention to them saying using them to strengthen protective measures. It's likely that you're going to be creating traps or some kind of weaponry, let's say catapult, ballista, trebuchet, whatever, to take out the boss. In the fighting phase, players will be under attack and will have to work fast to keep their defensives up and use the resources they gathered in the first phase. I wouldn't be surprised if at least some inspiration is being taken from Big Game Hunt here. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. It does say you need to juggle between offense and defense to put an end to the corruption. The phase will last until either the boss has been defeated or the players fail. This probably is some kind of time-limited thing, which, you know, there's a bar on the top of your screen that charges up, and then once it reaches 100%, you just die. But you still take damage. So this is a boss that, instead of your stats being drained, and then you just getting knocked out, like a Croesus, you actually have damage mechanics. You're getting slapped, you're getting hits. The boss's damage will be scaling incoming damage based on the player's HP or constitution level to make the encounter more accessible for skillers. That's cool, Jagex. Really good of you to think about those players as well. It also seems to be a safe encounter regardless of using life points, so that means hardcore Iron Man can do this boss without worrying. Always be careful, guys. Apparently, this will make the encounter more approachable, and yes, that's true. But it also opens up more potential strategies for players to keep themselves alive throughout the fight, such as different foods or brews. Yeah, exactly. That's some good thinking. Jagex will not be showing us what the boss looks like just yet, but the boss arena will be similar to the early concept art. The boss arena will be on top of this pyramid in the underworld and seems to revolve around a big moonstone pillar conduit kind of thing, for which they also share a small GIF. Yes, it's GIF, not GIF. As for the rewards, you can expect a typical boss pet, collection log, titles, and a variety of, this is the new stuff, interesting tools, and upgrades to fill out your slots. Now, while they have a bunch of ideas, you can also give them feedback on Discord and probably on Reddit as well. But what I think a skilling boss should drop is definitely skilling offhands, skilling tools, and perhaps upgrades, and possibly an item that combines a combat but also skilling item being grasping rune pouches. So these are the upgraded ones from Croesus with 4 slots, Perhaps something that combines them into 8 or 12 would be really nice quality of life. In my opinion, it's perfectly fine to drop combat gear as a skilling boss drop, although because it's a skilling boss, it should definitely not be some top tier gear like Crit Bloom, which was just way too good for the boss. At the same time though, it should be good enough so that skillers can also make money from bossing. This is a difficult topic. I'd like to know what you think down in the comments below, but I think it's, it depends a little bit on the difficulty of the skilling boss. Perhaps a hard mode would be fitting as well if they, end up designing 2 different modes. I'm just glad it's a soloable boss because I hated looking for teams for Crows. I just feel like, I don't know, I prefer to also be able to solo content if possible. In another news post, Jagex has mentioned something truly exciting. An announcement of the announcement I'm stoked to see, being RuneScape ahead. In this first edition of this video, they'll be revealing their content roadmap up to mid-2025 and even a little bit beyond too. That is a proper roadmap. We're talking a year or nearly a year's worth of content. I love to see stuff like this. That idea of kind of knowing what's going on and what's coming is just nice. The video is going to be similar to the classic month ahead videos, except it's for a year and it will be jam-packed with JMods speaking on their current progress with the existing roadmap, showing some visuals, and beyond of course, being Q1 2025, Q2, and maybe a little bit more. They'll be following up that video the next day with an extended length RuneScape ahead livestream in which they're going to be answering questions and reveal some extra information on those announcements as well. You can rest assured that I'll be covering and summarizing all the important details in a short form video for those that missed the stream or simply don't like watching live streams. Now, some of you might already be wondering, will Jagex deliver on all the content they plan to promise and reveal in the upcoming RuneScape ahead? Well, Jagex says the following. Everything we'll talk about during RuneScape ahead is something we validated and have good confidence in our ability to deliver. This is very much the result of a lot of the improvements to our development processes we've discussed in recent months. And yes, Jagex, I can clearly see that communication is going so much better. Now, of course, they are giving themselves a little bit of a safety cushion because they are revealing almost a full year of content plans, but even so, they seem to be super confident in mentioning these things even that far ahead. Mark it in your calendar, August the 15th, 5 PM British Summer Time is when RuneScape ahead will be revealed. This is good stuff, guys. I'm really excited to see what's in that video and what the developers are going to talk about and share in the livestream following it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.